Welcome to the 7th Annual Justice Day at the Capitol. I'm so happy to see so many of your beautiful faces in this room. We are so excited that we have formed a criminal justice reform coalition. It's called the Georgia Justice Reform Partnership. And all the organizations that are co-sponsors today are part of that collaborative.
Well, one of the things that seems clear to me, whether we're talking about the Muslim tradition or we're talking about the Jewish tradition or we're talking about the Christian tradition, in our holy books that we share, it is very clear that justice is first on God's mind.
And we have to break down the barriers to treatment, and we have to start treating people differently, because with the new data that's out, what they have figured out is the biggest success rate is to get people connected.
So Senate Bill 407 is the criminal justice bill that came out of the Council on Criminal Justice Reform.
I just want to say thank you, Song, Mary Hooks, and AKA Black Mama Bailouts for putting together such a fantastic group of devoted, talented people who do so much selfless work helping people like me.
Remember also that advocacy is a year-round process. Thank you for being here, for seeing the process and affecting it with your voice and your presence today. But it's essential that you take the information you're receiving. You take the beginning of this building of a relationship with your legislators, with your senator and your representative, and continue beyond today.
Because we know that a committed group of citizens, a committed group of advocates, a committed group of people, when they step in a way that is consistent with justice, that is consistent with equality, that is consistent with the most humane part of who we are as a people, we can change the world.
Being able to do this work in a way that centers those that are marginalized and are on the corners, whose opinions don't get asked, those who, oftentimes don't fit into spaces like this or others. Being able to do that work is critical in how we transform ourselves. If we can't do the work of getting people out of cages and doing the work of freeing folk out of cages, and it doesn't free us.
We have seen a substantial drop in our prison population. We're down to roughly 52,000. And as Marissa stated, Georgia in 2011 had the 4th largest prison population in the United States. We weren't the 4th largest state, but we had the 4th largest prison population. We were expected to grow by 8% at a cost to Georgia's taxpayers of $264 million. We've not experienced that 8% growth. In fact, we're down. Because of the commitment numbers I just gave you, I think that forecasts pretty well that our numbers are going to continue to stay down. And all of that is a byproduct of a really thoughtful, I think responsible criminal justice strategy that said, let's divert the 5,000 people went to prison in 2011 that were low-risk nonviolent offenders, predominantly had a substance and or mental health problem, substance abuse or mental health problem.
I'm humble, I'm excited about what God is doing in my life. Have an opportunity to be out here and to, be an encouragement to young people, to encourage freedom over incarceration. I have an organization called Freedom is a Choice, and that's what it's geared toward, to try to encourage more young people not to take the same route that me and a lot of other great friends that I met throughout my incarceration.
If we do not return to our communities and educate them about the people who make bad laws and about them being unfit to hold office, then we must tell our children that we lacked conviction. If we do not stand up to our neighbors who believe it makes more sense to go on and on about what's going on in Chicago, but say nothing about entire militias being raised so that people can be steeped in racist rhetoric and go and shoot up Bible studies in schools, then we must tell our children that we lacked courage. Friends, I pray that we don't have to tell our children that. I pray that we tell them that we stood in the truth of our ancestors, the charge that they left to us to fight. And I pray that we are able to tell our children that we are passing the world to them, a little bit safer than it was when we inherited it, so that they can continue to have hope for their own liberation. Thank you.